Subriel Matias had a very impressive victory over Shohjahon Ergashev to retain his IBF 140-pound title. Now, if you didn't catch this one, how the fight played out was reminiscent of Demetrius Andrade against David Benavidez in the sense that the underdog, which was Ergashev, actually had a lot of success in rounds 2 and 3, to the point where watching the fight, I said, I have actually got a good feeling about Ergashev here. If he can keep this up, he's actually going to have a very good chance of pulling the upset. And what he did was he came forward and he actually tried to fight on the inside up close and hurt Matias. And it was working because Ergashev has power, Matias has power, but Ergashev was actually getting the better of these early exchanges, and it was looking like Matias might actually be in some trouble. But then the fight turned on its head, much like the main event did in rounds 4, 5, and 6, where Matias was able to actually back Ergashev up, number one. Number two, he was able to slow him down. And number three, he was eventually able to cause enough damage that Ergashev didn't come out of his corner between rounds 6 and 7. Now, the thing about this was, if you actually watch the fight, it didn't look like Ergashev was incredibly badly hurt, okay? He wasn't cut and bleeding all over the place. He wasn't just barely climbing off of the canvas to beat the referee's 10 count. It wasn't at the point where you thought the fight was going to be stopped, but he decided in between rounds that he basically didn't want to carry on, so he quit in between rounds. And you have to call it what it is. I don't say that disrespectfully, and truthfully, I'm going to actually defend him in the sense that if he didn't feel like he could carry on, if he felt like he was just going to take unnecessary punishment, he did the smart thing. There's no point going out there and just getting severely injured because unfortunately we've seen that happen to one of Matias's previous opponents where the fight should have been stopped much earlier and it wasn't. And Ergashev probably didn't want to repeat the same situation and just get beaten up unnecessarily. And so I think he actually probably did the right thing because to me, it looked like he was incredibly weight drained for this fight. If you saw him at the weigh-in, he had veins on his abs, and that's not really a good sign because if you've ever been weight cutting for a fighter, you've ever been incredibly lean for running a marathon or for bodybuilding or just general fitness, if you've ever been to the point where you're that lean, you know that you look like you're carved out of stone, but you feel so weak that a gust of wind could probably knock you over. So I think as much as Matias, who's a very powerful puncher, deserves credit for forcing Ergashev to quit, Ergashev also came in incredibly drained for this fight. He did not look healthy at the weigh-in. He looked very dry. He looked very dehydrated. It wasn't a good look. And I think that played into the result as much as anything else because he probably just didn't have the energy to carry on. Maybe if he hadn't been as dehydrated, if he hadn't been as weight drained, then we would have seen a different result. But to me, that played as big of a factor in this fight as Matias being able to tough out the early onslaught and being able to actually back Ergashev up, use his power, and force him to quit. Now, after the fight, Matias called out a couple of the other champions. He called out Joe Cordina. He called out Tank Davis. He called out, if I remember correctly, he called out Regis Prograis as well. And I think he pretty much called out all of the other champions at this. I say Joe Cordina. I don't know why I said that. He called out all of the other champions at this weight class. Not Joe Cordina. He called out... Who did he call out? So he called out Tank Davis, and he called out someone else now whose name escapes me. It might have been Teofimo. It might have been Regis Prograis. No, it was Devin. It was Devin Haney and Tank Davis. Yeah. So after the fight, Matias called out both Tank Davis and Devin Haney. He challenged both of them. He also said he would fight any of the other champions at this weight class, but those were the two names he said in particular. And I have to say, both of those fights would be very interesting. I thought Matias looked very impressive here. I think in particular him against Tank Davis. I'd make Davis the favorite, but I think Matias is a real power puncher. So that would be a very interesting fight, or very exciting fight if that were to happen. I don't know if it will, but Matias against Tank Davis would be a very exciting fight if that was to happen. I think him against Haney maybe tactically would be more interesting. I think that would be also potentially a little bit more of a boring fight because Haney's a slicker boxer, and I would favor him to be able to use his skills to outbox Matias in that one. But Matias against Tank Davis to me would be very interesting if that fight were to take place. So let me know, you guys, what you would like to see next for Matias in the comments. Would you like to see him against Tank, Haney, or somebody else? I appreciate you all for tuning in to my live stream last night as well. It was my first attempt at doing that. I'll be doing it again next week for Ryan Garcia against Oscar Duarte. But this fight, to me, was very reminiscent of the main event. It was an impressive performance by Matias, and unfortunately, Ergashev was too weight drained to be able to fight back. And in my opinion, he did the smart thing by retiring rather than take unnecessary damage. That's my thoughts on the fight. Appreciate all of you for watching. I will catch you in the next one.